that you never did before. But there's a big difference between just having the vague idea of a creator or a sovereign ideal or God and whatever. You know, the type of God that Huxley describes in that foreword is the New Age one religion. It's just whatever God you want. The conscious and intelligent pursuit of man's final end. The unitive knowledge of immanent Tao or Logos. The transcendent Godhead or Brahman. A higher utilitarianism. So when I read stuff like that, it's like, this to me sounds more like the synthesis that it's all being designed to kind of bring forth. Because people, we don't want to abandon technology and go live like savages in the woods without electricity and the internet and smart cars and whatever else. That's terrifying. Even like living without Wi-Fi is terrifying. I mean, the whole thing about Brave New World is like how infantilized they all are. And the infantile mindset is, of course, because the state is your daddy, the state is your mommy, the state is your God, and you're to be dependent upon it for everything and all the goods that the collective can manufacture. And so it's a false sense of community, right? Which we see everywhere we look today in the corporate-dominated landscape of everything. But what constantly amazes me is how over the past however many years since I started doing this and connecting with more and more people who do see the forest for the trees and do ask the hard questions and do, push against the grain, go against the flow, however you want to say it, and are determined to seek the truth, even if it's inconvenient or involves ridicule or persecution or what have you. Only through going through that journey of feeling like you're the only one, you're the only John Savage, and, you get kind of an Elijah syndrome sometimes, but then being pulled out of that and shown over and over again that there are so many of us out there, even with all the clown world propaganda and brainwashing and worship of scientism and all the rest. We really are part of a community, but not in the cheesy, overused, cliche corporate way, but when you're really clinging to a foundation that is far more secure than the Rosicrucian, esoteric, rehashed sentimentality of Shakespeare and all that, but the resurrected and living Christ, then that is where I've just found fellowship and true brothers and sisters that I never imagined I could experience those relationships. And when the bittersweet side of it, though, is that you realize that here we are by the thousands, if not millions, all over the world, and we can connect with each other like never before because of all this crazy technology. But if I only had this lifetime to even make what I can out of that, then, what a tragedy that would be. To know that there's this huge family of people that you would just give anything to be able to just pause all this insanity and pause all this, surging forward towards progress and collapse, depending on what you want to see. But to just be able to all be together in person in some capacity, that would be amazing. And that is what I think we're being led to realize, that we have to do more, and we can't just rely on, the internet to be the end-all be-all. Even though it's this amazing tool. But really, to me, that just points me back towards the incredible, unimaginable promise of eternity with Christ and with each other, and to have endless amount of time to actually be able to just enjoy each other's company and eat together and work together and play together and do whatever we all do in the eternal kingdom. And overpopulation will not be an issue, and sin will not be an issue, and even that, just trying to imagine that at all kind of breaks your brain. To be able to just enjoy untainted love and fellowship and unity in Christ without the tiniest blemish of sin left in the world. I mean, that's more unimaginable than anything any of these guys have ever written. And it's interesting because as I was kind of digging into all this Brave New World stuff, some friends of mine who I met, I don't know what year it was, but when I was putting together this kind of a series of videos on Flat Earth testimonies, and I did a separate one for this couple, Dan and Julie, and over the years we've remained friends, and especially through 2020 and all that, both being in the Northwest, I did get a chance to hang out with Dan briefly, and it was awesome. But Dan had told me about how Julie was starting her own company, making handmade soap and personal care products, and I'd kind of forgotten about it until just recently, and, sent me some soap. And then I, checked out the website and everything, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was so blown away by, what she had just sat down and put together with all these different amazing combinations of organic ingredients and oils and things. And this charcoal one is pretty awesome. I'm loving this one. Activated charcoal and moringa powder to detoxify and nourish the new man. But there's like so many, and they all just smell amazing. It was a weird moment going like, how the heck am I so excited about getting soap from somebody? Even the packaging, man, I was just like, I felt like bad for opening it because it just looked so cool. Like the design of the packaging and everything, it's just super cool. And it's all made by hand with love. And so I kind of wanted to share that with you guys because it blessed me, and I was like, I think this would bless a lot of other people too. And her bio just says, hello, I'm Julie. My business, Composure Essentials, aims to provide self-care products for people who care for others to help endure the days and nights with confidence, hope, and joy. I started blending all manner of oils as a massage therapist and nurse's aide to help my clients find relief from a variety of stresses and pain. When my infant daughter developed rashes, I resumed my blending practice and naturally moved into making soaps and lotions. My 2 older boys and I have enjoyed giving these and other handmade gifts as random acts of kindness in our community. I invite you to join us in caring for yourself and others as we explore how to do, give, and be our best every day. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Romans 12:10. And, dude, I was just like so moved by this. And just that verse alone. That's the love that we have in Christ, even now. And it's amazing how something that's seemingly so simple really can just be a reminder that I need like all the time. Because I take my eyes off of God and I start looking at all the craziness going on in the world. And, so check it out. And I think there's a promo code for the first 10 people, but I don't remember what it is. I'll put it on the screen later in post. Here. But overall, I just want to thank all of you guys again for the fellowship that we've been able to build over the years for many, many of you, and the work that so many people out there are still doing, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's off YouTube, whether it's podcasting or writing articles, sharing information, sharing research, emailing encouragement to one another, building networks everywhere and anywhere we can, meeting with people. I mean, the more I see people doing this, the more it inspires me. And it did prompt me to want to thank those of you who have chosen to support me at any given time through the PayPal, Patreon stuff. I really do appreciate it. So enough about that. All we can do is carry on as the Lord leads and do what he calls us to do and be obedient and allow him to reveal the treasures of the people that we encounter along the way. And that's really why we are here, after all, is to share the love and the grace that God has shown us with other people, and to invest our time and our energy and our talents in blessing the people around us and caring for those less fortunate than ourselves, and remembering that we can't take any of this stuff with us. All we can do is use it for the glory of his kingdom in the days that just pass by so quickly, no matter what. This life is so fleeting, and I feel more and more aware of that lately. Even if all this stuff wasn't going on, even if all this great reset technocracy stuff was still the furthest thing from our minds, and you could just pick a time period in history to just play out your whole life in. Because sooner or later, everyone we know, either before you or after you, passes on, and the relationships that we built and either maintained or lost in our lifetimes ultimately all are broken by that reality of death. What a hopeless final end that really would be for all of us. If it was just, make the best of it while you can, because you don't know. And that's why reincarnation obviously is appealing to a lot of people, because it just goes on and on forever, right? You don't have to ever say goodbye, but there's no judgment, there's no justice, there's no dealing with the evil in the world. In 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 13, it says, "But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others do, who have no hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, through Jesus, God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep. For this we declare to you by a word from the Lord, that we who are alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord, will not precede those who have fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a cry of command, with the voice of an archangel, and with the sound of the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive, who are left, will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we will always be with the Lord. Therefore encourage one another with these words.